call the October 1st, 2018 regular council meeting to order. Flag salute. Councilor Nuttall, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Silent roll call has been taken and a quorum is present.
Okay, the minutes. There are two meetings here. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the September 4th, 2018 regular council meeting and the September 17th, 2018 special council meeting? We got Jan.
Second.
Is there a second? Is that Shirley? Yeah. Discussion? All in favor? None opposed? All seven here tonight. Very good. Petitions, communications, citizens' requests. At this time, is there anyone in the audience that would like to discuss an item that is not on the agenda? Please come forward, state your name and address. Yep.
Charles Lighthizer, 4th Street in Old Town. Thanks for giving me a chance to talk. We met with Dave and Bill end of last week, midweek last week,
Yep.
To talk about the response to the petition that we had presented. Ed and I did craft a response based on that. Is that okay to read it in, or should we just give you a signed copy? Or
We should all have, do you have enough copies?
no, not
Okay,
for
no.
everybody.
I can make copies
Yeah,
of them.
yeah.
You want me to do that, or?
Yeah, if you,
Sure.
it would be easier if Bill can just give us all copies.
Sure.
If you just want to, can you give us a summary of it?
Yeah, I can. It's
Okay.
basically one page,
Yeah.
quick page. It said, this is in response to the August 21st letter from Mr. Katsiafikis, Old Town's land for lawyer, to Bill Mayer and Ed Bear. In the letter, Mr. Katsiafikis disparaged our August 20th petition to the City Council to consider holding a public hearing under Chapter 24 rules. We should realize that some of our petition may have been a little critical of Mr. Katsiafikis during the Planning Board's consideration of landfill expansion. We respectfully request that Mr. Bear review our petition under Chapter 4 and our current communication and issue an opinion in regard to this matter. For starters, it should be noted that nowhere in Chapter 4 or the Planning Board permit was there mentioned a pathway for an appeal by a citizen, which appears to be outside of normal democratic process. Now let us review the chronology involved. On November 14th, the Planning Board approved the expansion permit for the landfill. At that point, we looked at the city charter and noticed the procedure for appealing a planning board said to appeal to the Zoning Board of Appeals within 30 days. Mr. Spencer delivered such an appeal on December 14th. On December 29th, Mr. Spencer asked for an explanation of why his appeal to the Zoning Board of Appeals was inappropriate. On January 15th, Mr. Barrett replied that the Zoning Board of Appeals was not empowered to consider an appeal of landfill expansion permit from the Planning Board. Sometime in the next month, we met with City Council Chair Mahan to discuss future steps and lay out our grievances. We then set up a meeting with Mr. Bear, Mr. Mayor, and Councilors Mahan and Peterson. In the meantime, I fell on the ice and required major surgery and a lengthy recovery. Mr. Spencer attended the meeting at City Hall in mid-March, where we had an open discussion of these matters. At the time, Mr. Spencer quoted Chapter 24, Section 25C, and mentioned the possibility of requesting a City Council hearing under Chapter 24 rules. And no time during any of these meetings was a time frame or deadline for requests for City Council review provided to or by anyone. Chapter 24 rules give guidance as to how an applicant may request a hearing by City Council, but do not provide any information as to the options for a non-applicant to make such a request. As there is nothing in Chapter 24 rules in this regard, there's obviously no timeline detailed for such a process. We do not know if Mr. Katsiafikis and the City Council intended to make Superior Court the only option available to other interested parties, and this remains unclear. In Mr. Katsiafikis' response to our request, he questions the authority of the City Council to hold such a hearing, thereby shutting out residents of Old Town, but later he says it might be possible. In his letter of August 21st, 2018, Mr. Katsiafikis claims that we misinterpreted his September 7th, 2017 communication with Mr. Scheiner, Chair of the Planning Board. This communication was with regard to Mr. Scheiner's understanding that the Planning Board could only require compliance with Chapter 24, but could not, as a board, quote, vote the whole thing down, unquote. Mr. Katsioufikis' response was that the planning board would have to demonstrate that the applicant had failed to comply with each of the Chapter 24 standards in order to deny a permit. What should have been made clear was that failure to comply with any of the standards would be cause for denial. This is exactly the point we made in our request to the City Council. We strongly believe that the concerns noted in our August request are valid. I will not restate all of those items to need to point out 2 points in particular. The red line of the version of the permit, accepted by the planning board with no discussion or vote, eliminated the word nuisance with regard to landfill odors and changed it to concern. This is very important to note, as nuisance is one of the criteria by which a permit should be denied. Additionally, Mr. Shine has stated that the planning board meeting that he had called in an odor complaint to the landfill that week. He lives on Route 43 in Old Town. The planning board then somehow determined that landfill odors on Route 43 were not an issue. Mr. Lighthizer and Mr. Spencer have also called in numerous odor complaints from Route 43, at least some of which were determined by landfill staff to have been caused by the landfill. In light of this information, we again ask the City Council to open a hearing and a review of the applicant's misrepresentations and failure to disclose during the planning board process in respect to Chapter 24-25C. Respectfully submitted, me and Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll make sure we get copies of that, Chuck.
Yeah, if I, Ed Spencer, Kirkland Road. Briefly, I think two of the main points is we'd like an opinion from Ed Bearer, our normal city attorney, and that two, you do have the authority. I'm certain he's going to say it. You're our executive branch of government, so everybody, the employees, serve kind of at your pleasure. I know there's unions involved and stuff like that, but basically, you have the authority, so please feel free to assert it. I'll get that to you electronically.
Yeah.
probably first
Chuck,
thing
do you want me
tomorrow.
to take that?
It's the exact same
That's
thing.
the one
That's the
that's
signed copy.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
I'll copy these and scan them, send them out to them so they've got them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else that would like to discuss an item? Please state your name and address.
Well, first off, thank you for listening to these grievances that I am presenting to you. The City Council of Old Town, Maine.
Could you state your name,
October 1st,
please?
2018. My name is Linda Milbury.
Thank you.
I live at Marsh Island Apartment, 345 Main Street, here in Old Town. The issues that I am bringing up in this meeting tonight are these. The area between Rite Aid Pharmacy and Old Town Housing is a community of elderly, handicapped, disabled, and challenged people. They include Marsh Island, Bickmore, and Penobscot Terrace. 3 weeks ago, I went to City Hall concerning 2 people who had fallen. Also, this is including the potholes, the crosswalk at Rite Aid, and the crosswalk at Marsh Island to Bickmore. People are frightened to walk with walkers and canes and who ride in wheelchairs. This is because of the conditions of the roadway, or should I say, highway, including the sidewalks. There are no lights or a visible sign telling drivers to slow down. Now, this is a street and a community. Drivers seldom stop at this crosswalk, and if they do, which we do appreciate, though other drivers go around and through on one side or the other while a person is trying to cross. This is done frequently. Oh yes, the speeds are very notable. Now, 2 weeks ago at Marsh Island, a lady in an electric wheelchair went to cross from the entrance over to Rite Aid. The wheels caught in a pothole, tipped over, and pinned her under, which then put her in the hospital. Did you know about that?
No, it's first I've heard of it.
Of course not. A few days later, some of the potholes were filled, and we do thank you for painting the crosswalk and the filling. But this is not enough. It is still very difficult to maneuver around. By the way, due to the sidewalk, we can't cross over to Rite Aid on the crosswalk, being that on the other side, it's all broken up. And this is right at Rite Aid. Nothing has been fixed there. That small area that we live in is dangerous. So, I invite you, a councilman or a councilwoman, and a policeman, to come to Marsh Island, Bickmore, and Penobscot Terrace and listen and hear these people. See for yourself just how difficult it is to get around. Please come to this community. It's time to do something for safety purposes and reasons. Or I shall be back, and as it was stated in a movie, and you can take that to the bank, Camden National Bank. And I'm Linda Milbury, and I thank you again.
Thank you.
And I have a copy, and who you can get in contact with. Who
Okay.
does this go to?
You can give it right to, okay. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming. Bill, what do we know about the sidewalks in the streets?
They've been repaired.
Everything's been repaired, the sidewalks too?
I mean, we've got an MPI grant out between the intersection down here and the town line. With the state, that's about a $1.2 million project, so we'd have to come up with half of it next year if we get the MPI grant. That would do everything from here to the Orono line.
That's the roads and the sidewalks?
Yes, both.
So the sidewalks are still in bad repair at the Rite Aid? Do we know
I'd
of?
have to go look at what section it is. I mean, there's bad sidewalks. We have this discussion every year
Budget
about
year,
roads and
right.
sidewalks.
Right. Okay. Maybe this week we can go down and take a look with Scott
I'm
and
familiar
John.
with the area.
Yeah.
You've seen me walking it a lot, I'm sure, because we run into each other.
Right.
When I'm walking, it's not good, but it's probably like a lot of the other sidewalks.
Right. Okay. We'll get together with Scott and John, go take a look this week. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to come in front of us? Yes.
Hi, I guess this is when I should come up. My name is Emmeline Willie. I'm a student at UMaine, actually, but I do live on High Street. I'm a senator on the UMaine Student Council, and I was recently voted as the Old Town City Council liaison. So I'm just here to speak for the students and bring anything up if there's something going on in Old Town, and report to them what's going on here.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Okay, anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to reports. Just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone for Riverfest, the Riverfest committee, Public Works, Public Safety, Police Fire. Everybody did a great job. City Hall helping out with everything. Weather, the weather was
Weather
great.
was great. We had a great day. Everything worked out wonderful. And the University of Maine was well represented at Riverfest, too.
Yes.
Yeah. They were, you agree, they were well represented, weren't they? We had volunteers there, too, as well, from the
Yes.
university.
No, that's good. It was very good. The parade was one of the biggest I've seen.
It was,
It was good. Okay, great. Standing committees. City councilors. Okay, city attorney. What did I forget? Oh. Back to me. Patty.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'd like to introduce you Michelle LaChance. She's my new deputy, and it's a really exciting time for me. She's remembers stuff from, what,
Well, hopefully she remembers stuff, I hope.
6 to 8 years ago, because she used to help me out back when she worked for us per diem. So
Oh, nice.
I have been super excited to get her on board, and she's right in the swing of election stuff. And
Great.
so occasionally she may be up here sitting in my chair. So I kind of wanted her to see, what I do, and for you all to be familiar with what she looks like.
It's awesome.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Good to see you.
All right. Sorry about city council, city attorney, special committee, city manager.
Just a couple things. October 4th, Thursday, we have the MSW appeal down in Augusta. So I'll be down there at 9 a.m. On the Juniper Ridge landfill. And October 30th, I can send you guys some information as a training for council and selectmen at the Black Bear. And I'll send you that stuff. If you're interested in going, just either let me or Irene know. I'll get you that information.
Okay, great. Thank you. Moving on to consent agenda. New business items number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Councilor Peterson, please.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves suggested motions under new business items 1, 2, 3, and 4. Item 1 is municipal warrants for the November 6, 2018 regular municipal election. Item 2 is registrar voters hours for November 6, 2018 for the state, general, and regular municipal election. Item 3 is spirit and Venice liquor license for the Old Town Elks. And 4 is a special permit for the Old Town Rotary Club to hold the annual Hunters Breakfast.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Not opposed? Okay, so moving on to public hearings and second reading of ordinances. City Council will conduct a public hearing on a proposal to amend Chapter 21 Title Welfare, Appendices A, B, and C, Food, Housing, and Heat Assistance Limits of the General Assistance Maximum Amounts for the period October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019. This amendment is a requirement of the Department of Human Services in compliance with Title 22 MRSA subsection 4305, paragraph 4. Open the public hearing. Same thing, Patty, that we always do.
Yep, and the dollar amounts is like $1.50. It's not a lot. Their adjustments on
That-
everything.
That it went up $1.50?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on this from anybody? Close the public hearing. City Council consider scheduling a second reading for final approval on a proposal to amend Chapter 21, titled Welfare, Appendices A, B, C, and D of the General Assistance Maximum Amounts. Councilor Klitsch, please.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves scheduling a second reading for final approval of November 5th, 2018 on the proposal to amend Chapter 21 titled Welfare, Appendices A, B, C, Food, Housing, Heating Assistance Limits of the General Assistance Maximum Amounts for the period October 1, 2018 through September 30th, 2019, as presented in Attachment 1.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Carol. Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed? That's it for old business. Moving on to new business. We do have one item left, but at this time, I'd like to get a motion to postpone this item until the October 15th meeting, please.
So moved.
Okay, so we got Carol. Is there a second?
Second.
Donna. Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed? Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? None opposed, and it is 7:20.